These big rocks skip, you think? Not quite. Small glaciers at the far back that are probably contributing to the water. What's down here? This is a straight up cliff on the other side of me here. So this is Eiffel Tower, the thing behind me over there. Whew. All right, now we just gotta Well, this is the first crossroad you'll find here. If you leave the campground, you do about 2 kilometers in. So I think we're at 1.95, yeah. So almost exactly 2 kilometers, you meet these crossroads. This trail here keeps going east and it goes all the way back to the Lake O'Hara Road. But if you want to go to Linda Lake and the Morning Glory circuits, obviously you have to go that way. And this also leads back to Cathedral Mountain in the basin back in there. So we're hopefully going to be able to check all of this out today. So follow me and let's go check out the rest of this trail. Right in behind me is an even closer look at Ottawa Mountain. And I am standing on the side of one of the first little lakes you'll find, Morning Glory Lakes. There's 3 little lakes, and this is the first one. Pristinely clear, gorgeous little ponds where all this water comes down into the bottom of the valley and then just kind of pools here. And you can tell that one lake dumps into the next one, into the next one, and then it eventually turns into a creek. There's 1 or 2 spots where you can use the trail to get close to a rock and then just puddle jump and then stay on the rocks if you want to come and visit the lake. 6 inches above the ground, maybe more than that. It's all just covered in vegetation. Everywhere is this moss, which you see it all over the trail, but you see it even more in a place like this where there's a lot of moisture and minerals coming from the water behind us. And on the way here, I also realized that this is actually a good little trail. If you happen to camp at Lake O'Hara and you take the afternoon bus, then you can come and do this loop instead. It's not popular at all. So far, I haven't seen a single person here, but if you only have a couple of hours, you can set up to the campground and then go through the campground and lead all the way up here, the Morning Glory Lakes loop, or you can do like a little loop to come here and do an S back to the Linda Lake and then come back that way. Either way, you can tailor it so that you can come and actually do a small hike and still make food and prep your campsite and do everything. And from here, you actually get a good vantage point of the glacier. There's a small glacier on the top of this mountain. It looks small from this end, but that could be quite large. But compared to other mountains that have like glaciers that cover the entire top, this time of year, you can see clearly there's like 2 little waterfalls creaking down, and it makes this nice little white noise hum at the back while you're hiking. So let's go back out there and show you guys what the other morning glory lakes looks like, and then we'll head out to Linda Lake. This is Linda Lake. Directly in behind me is the main summit of Cathedral Mountain. In behind, you can see the Cathedral Crags. So a similar mountain that has formations like this is actually close to Moraine Lake. If you go all the way to Sentinel's Pass, you'll be able to see them. They're kind of all over the place. They're not as big as some of these ones, but they're really small formations of rock to see. And at the far back corner over there, you can see Mount Stephen. It also extends quite a bit. So a lot of these mountains, they kind of extend far out, so they don't name all the peaks. They'll just name the center, and some of them, they have like kind of veins that extend out. So Mount Stephen is one of those, and Cathedral Mountain is also like that. The moisture saturation in the ground here is 100% for like way outside these lakes. Mosquitoes early in the year, there's tons. So maybe this hike is more recommended to be done, let's say in September months when all the mosquitoes are kind of gone. I did do bug spray and it wasn't too bad. I am kind of getting eaten up a little bit. It's still nothing compared to Tonquin Valley. The Tonquin Valley is really where you want to avoid the mosquitoes. Just make sure you bring good bug spray if you come here early in the season. So there is a path that actually goes around this lake. We're on the most southern side. On this side, the trail goes all the way to the Morning Glory Lakes and to the actual Le Relais shelter. On the other side, that one goes all the way on the north side of the lake, and that one leads all the way inside the campground. So we came up from the campground and went to the Morning Glory Lakes, crossed over, and then we came up this way. So there's actually two crossovers, one in front of Linda Lake and then one in front of the Morning Glory Lakes, jumps in between both trails. You can do a smaller loop, a medium loop, and a large loop. There's actually a viewpoint and a lookout at the far back of Cathedral. So we're gonna go extend into the valley and see what we can find here. Well, this is one of the gorgeous little lakes that you can find past Linda Lake. This is one that has an actual bridge that runs across, and that keeps going all the way up to the Cathedral Basins up there. There's more lakes like this here. Looking at aerial photography, You can tell there's like 8, 10, maybe 12 little lakes and ponds all throughout here. Gorgeous view here of the totally north side of Otaway Mountain. Mount Otaway extends pretty far back. Unless you get up to the shelf, you won't be able to see in behind there. Well, this was quite the jaunt to get right here where I'm standing, right in front of Cathedral Mountain. And this might be the only angle that really does this mountain justice, because you're in the back forum of it and you get to see everything. All of the layers of the mountains, and all of the water flows all the way down to the bottom, and then there's a little pond there. It looks like there's a lot of mud down there. I really don't have enough time in the day to go and check this out because I spent a lot of time just getting up here. So all that water from that little pond flows all the way down through the Cathedral Falls down into this valley. Took us quite a bit of time to get here, mainly because I was filming a lot, so we took at least 3 or 4 20-minute half-hour breaks. Normally wouldn't take somebody that long, but you want to stop and get a good meal and get a good break. But we're having our supper sitting right here with that view over there. And then at the same time, we can enjoy the view that's in behind me over there. That big one, the tallest one out of all of them, that's Mount Victoria. And if you go to the other side of Lake Louise and you're standing in front of the Fairmont and you're looking down, that's what you're looking at. So it's pretty impressive on both sides. Then you'll see Mount Huber in between, where there's a big glacier in between. And then it rolls down to the Wawaxie Peak. And then at the far back, you can see some rows of the Continental Divide, which is Mount Lefroy and the Ringrose Peak. And then at the far back in there, you can see actually Mount Biddle and Mount Schaefer and all of Lake O'Hara, Lake Owisa, and MacArthur Lake. They're all in that far area over there. This is why I tell people that you kind of have to choose an area that you're going to go hike, because if I wanted today to go back to Lake O'Hara, I'm so far away and so high up that this is going to take us like probably 3 hours, 4 hours just to get back to the campground. This is as good of a hike than the Alpine Circuit, hands down. 2 things you need to know. So if you're a medium to slow pace hiker, you're going to need to give yourself a lot of time. The second part is that the hike is generally easy for elevation gain. It's pretty smooth. It goes up in spurts, except for the last section where you get to the last pond. It goes up, I think, 160 meters of elevation gain in just half a kilometer. and that portion is a little bit sketchy. So if you're afraid of heights or you're not comfortable with your hiking skills, that's where you're probably going to turn around. Once you get to the top of that, then you have to do like a traverse, and it looks a bit sketchy at first, but then you veer into the trees and then it opens up, and then it's pretty good after that. If you want to come to Lake O'Hara and not have a lot of people on your hike, this is the one to do, because we've been hiking now for like 7 or 8 hours, and we've seen one couple and another trio hiking together. There's not a whole lot of people that come visit down here. It's breathtaking. So also, this would not be recommended for a day hike. If you're coming up on the bus, I don't think that you have enough time to use the day bus shuttle to do this hike. This is more of a trail to be doing if you're actually camping at the campground. Alrighty, well, I hope this video helps you guys decide where you're gonna come and hike if you come to Lake O'Hara. This is a gorgeous little lake at the end of the Cathedral Mountain Valley here. So this is Cathedral Mountain, one of the hikes you can do if you come camping at Lake O'Hara in Yoho National Park. And I'm Eric Chobley, and these are my adventures. Peace out. Hey buddy, you live in a really nice place. Yeah, we're leaving now. Doodly-doo, buddy. Have fun. Have fun in your pile of rocks.